Ryland approaches the distress signal. The nebula stretched across the horizon in waves of violet and crimson, stars twinkling like scattered gemstones against the darkness of space. Captain Ryland Kale adjusted his ship's thrusters as he approached the remote system, eyes fixed on the emergency beacon blinking insistently on the console. He had seen his fair share of distress signals in his 10 years traveling the edge worlds, but this one was different. Its signature was unlike anything recorded in human or alien registries. Yet the panic encoded in the transmission was unmistakable. "Coordinates locked," he muttered, running a hand through his hair. "Let's see who's calling for help." The ship glided toward the source, a dense asteroid field orbiting a dying star. Amid jagged rocks, a small vessel drifted, heavily damaged, its hull scorched and energy shields flickering. Ryland docked cautiously and scanned for life signs. What he saw shocked him. The occupants weren't human. They were alpha-caste predators from the Xerian clans, species renowned across the galaxy for their size, strength, and ferocity. And they weren't alone. Between them lay a small, injured cub whimpering softly. Ryland's calm crackled as the Alpha Patriarch's deep, resonant voice boomed across the ship's intercom. "Human, you must help us. Our cub. The Eclipse Raiders took it. They will kill it." Ryland swallowed. He had heard tales of the Xerian Alphas, the galaxy's most fearsome predators, ruling their sectors with unmatched combat skill. And now they were begging him, a human, for help. "Why me?" Ryland asked cautiously. The matriarch's voice joined, commanding yet strained. "Because you are the only one they do not underestimate." Ryland raised an eyebrow. Humans were considered fragile, unpredictable, and cunning in ways most alien species did not expect. Perhaps that was why. "Fine," he said, "but I need details fast." They told him everything. Their cub, a rare hybrid with latent psychic abilities, had been kidnapped by the Eclipse Raiders, a rogue Xerian faction intent on harnessing the cub's powers to dominate the sector. The Raiders were ruthless, and no alpha dared confront them directly. Every attempt had ended in bloodshed. Ryland felt the weight of their words. The galaxy's fiercest warriors had failed, and now it rested on a human, navigating the asteroid lair. Ryland piloted his ship through the asteroid field with precision, avoiding debris and hidden traps. The closer he approached the Raiders' territory, the more obvious their defenses became. Automated drones, energy nets, and sensor disruptors designed to repel intruders. He studied the patterns carefully, relying on observation and timing rather than brute force. When drones activated, he used the field's natural cover, slipping past unnoticed. When energy nets attempted to ensnare his ship, he recalibrated his shields to mimic their signal, bypassing them effectively. Hours passed. He reached the Raiders' lair, a massive hollowed asteroid, its surface bristling with defensive turrets and cloaking fields. Inside, the cub was restrained by psychic dampeners suppressing its abilities. Ryland knew that any misstep could trigger alarms, summoning elite Raider guards. Deactivating the psychic dampeners. Using stealth maneuvers and carefully timed explosions, Ryland created chaos within the asteroid's interior. Raiders scrambled, confused. In the midst of the chaos, he docked at the inner chamber and slipped inside undetected. The cub, sensing a kindred spirit, reached out with a trembling psychic pulse. "Don't worry," Ryland whispered. "I've got you." He carefully deactivated the dampeners using a makeshift device assembled from his toolkit and scavenged alien tech. The cub's eyes glowed softly, the first sign of its latent power. Then came the final obstacle. Varkin, the Raiders' leader, massive even by Xerian standards, stepped forward, claws extended. "A human dares challenge me," he growled. Ryland took a deep breath. He couldn't match Varkin in physical strength, but he had ingenuity. Using the cub's psychic pulse in tandem with his ship's magnetic field generator, he created a feedback loop that disoriented the leader. He guided the cub toward the exit. One final psychic pulse amplified the feedback, knocking Varkin unconscious. Ryland and the Cub dashed back to the ship, launching just as the asteroid began collapsing from earlier explosions, earning respect from the galaxy's fiercest. Back aboard his vessel, the Alphas waited, tense but hopeful. When Ryland returned the Cub safely, the Patriarch's enormous hands closed around his shoulder in a rare gesture of gratitude. You have done what no Alpha could. You have earned our respect and trust. The matriarch placed her massive claw on Ryland's chest. Humans are underestimated, yes, but you are a force unlike any we have known. The Cub is safe because of you. The Cub, now glowing softly with psychic energy, nuzzled Ryland. He realized that even the fiercest beings could be humbled by courage, intellect, and compassion, qualities humans often possessed in abundance despite appearances. Word of the rescue spread quickly. The Eclipse Raiders regrouped, vowing vengeance. They underestimated Ryland, assuming he would flee or falter under pressure. But he had learned from the Alphas and from the Cub. Together, they executed a series of clever traps using asteroid debris and mining explosives. Every move was calculated, every reaction anticipated. The Raiders, despite their strength, were outmaneuvered and neutralized without unnecessary slaughter. For the first time, the galaxy's fiercest predators witnessed a human not just survive, but dominate through ingenuity and strategy. A new era for humans and Alphas. The Cub, now fully aware of its powers, chirped happily and nuzzled Ryland. Its psychic pulse resonated through the Alpha ranks, uniting them in loyalty to life, balance, and protection rather than domination. The Patriarch spoke, reverent. You have shown us that humans, though small and underestimated, can be the mightiest allies. You have earned a place among us. Ryland shook his head. I'm just a mechanic, a pilot. I did what anyone with a little ingenuity would do. The matriarch smiled, amber eyes glinting. No, you did what no one else could. You are a legend not because of strength alone, but because of your spirit. For the first time, Ryland understood. Humans were underestimated because they thrived where others relied solely on raw power. Their unpredictability, resilience, and heart could tip the scales in a galaxy of colossal predators. From that day on, tales spread across systems. The human who saved the Cub of the galaxy's fiercest Alphas. His story became legend, inspiring humans and aliens alike, proving that courage, intellect, and compassion were forces even the mightiest could not ignore. Somewhere deep in the nebula, Ryland gazed at the stars, the Cub at his side, realizing humans were not just survivors, they were game changers. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.